Hi, I'm Gina, one of the curriculum consultants at Rainbow Resource Center, and I'm here today to address some questions you may have about homeschooling. If homeschooling has entered your mind recently, and you are seriously considering it, I was in your shoes about 20 years ago. At that time, my 3 children were very young. My oldest was going to start 2nd grade, my daughter was starting 1st grade, and my youngest was just a toddler. We loved their school, but my husband and I had been talking for months about trying this thing called homeschooling. We wanted to spend more time with our children and to instill good character. So we decided to take that leap of faith and never look back. At that time, I didn't have a clue as to what I was doing, but I'm happy to tell you 20 years later, my 2 oldest are college graduates, married and doing well, and my youngest is planning to graduate from college next year. I always tell people, if I can do this, anyone can. I was very excited to try this new venture years ago, but at that time, I had many questions and concerns. You might be thinking about homeschooling for a number of different reasons. Maybe you want to teach good values or provide a safe environment. Maybe you want to let children learn at their own pace and have the freedom to customize their curriculum. Or it might be a totally different reason. The list can go on and on. Well, regardless of your reasoning, you probably have a ton of questions. Can I do this? I don't have a teaching degree. I'm not organized. I don't have enough patience. Will I cause them to fall behind? What about socialization? Can they go to college? All of these are valid questions, and my goal today is to address your concerns. Let me start by giving you some statistics on homeschooling success, and this will answer some of those questions. These stats are taken from the National Home Education Research Institute, founded in 1990 by Dr. Brian Ray. As of spring 2019, there were about 2.5 million homeschool students in America, and a demographically wide variety of people were homeschooling. Homeschoolers typically score 15 to 30 percentile points above public school students on standardized tests, and homeschool students score above average on achievement tests regardless of their parents' level of formal education or their family's household income. Whether homeschool parents were ever certified teachers is not related to their children's academic achievement. The degree of state control and regulation of homeschooling is not related to academic achievement. And homeschool students are increasingly being actively recruited by colleges. Research has also shown adults who are homeschooled tend to participate in local community service more frequently, vote and attend public meetings, and go to college and succeed at an equal or higher rate than the general population. And about socialization. Research shows the home educated are doing above average on measures of social, emotional, and psychological development. With our shelter-in-place guidelines, more people are having Zoom meetings or park dates at the moment. However, homeschool students are regularly engaged in social and educational activities outside their home, such as field trips, scouting, 4-H, political drives, church ministry, sports, community service, co-ops, and other clubs. Based on these statistics and our testimonies, as well as many others, we know it's working, and kids are succeeding regardless of our insecurities. So just to encourage you, let me take a moment to list some extra benefits when homeschooling. If you have more than one child, you know they all think and learn differently. You have the ability to cater to each of your child's needs and learning styles when homeschooling. You have freedom to spend as much time as needed to master a concept or move ahead if you have an eager learner. You are able to choose curriculum that reflects your family's values. You will get to know your children on a deeper level and have open communication with them. As a family, you develop such a strong bond by spending quality time together. You can have more flexible scheduling within your family and authentic learning. This also allows you to have more freedom and time to explore your children's interests on a deeper level. Your children are exposed to all ages of people, therefore the need to constantly give in to peer pressure is not as great. And your children do not have to conform to a classroom setting a large portion of the day. Your kids will not be labeled as stupid or not academically strong if they are not good test takers or if they are more active than other children who can sit for longer hours. So now that we've talked about benefits, let's look at some questions you might have. What subjects do I need to teach? Can I homeschool and still work? How long does homeschooling take each day? And what about grades and high school transcripts? Well, the subjects you need to teach will depend on your specific state laws and requirements. And a great resource for this is Homeschool Legal Defense Association, and their website is hslda.org. Or you could go to your specific state homeschool organizations for more information. Generally speaking, you need to teach the basic subjects, which might include math, language arts, science, history or social studies, and fine arts. Again, check with your state for their specific requirements. Many parents who work still find a way to homeschool. Sometimes parents will alternate their schedules so they can co-teach. Other times, one parent will work out of the home or cut back on their hours and work part-time. It might take some juggling and sacrifice, but if you are willing to commit, it can be successful. The amount of time it takes to homeschool each day depends on each family. There are distinct variables to determine this answer. There are many different ways to homeschool, and there is certainly no right or wrong method. Some families choose to homeschool year-round and take 2 or 3 week breaks every few months. Others choose to work longer Monday through Thursday, and they leave Fridays open for catch-up work or other activities. How long it takes each day will depend on the age of your children and the schedule you set as a family. And what about high school transcripts? I know that word sounds intimidating, but it is really quite simple to create a transcript. You will want to keep a record with course descriptions, textbooks, and non-text resources used, and any extracurricular activities. Using your state requirements as a guide, the most effective transcript is one built around your child's ambitions. There are many transcript templates you can look at as a model when putting it all together. So I've answered some questions you may have had about homeschooling. Now you may be thinking, let's do this. How do I get started? Well, first of all, think about why you are homeschooling. Write down your goals. What is important to you and your family? What is your vision for your homeschool, and what will success look like to you? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And what activities do your children enjoy? I know that's a lot to think through, but answering these questions will help tremendously when beginning your homeschool venture. Next, debunk what you think homeschooling is. Homeschooling is far more than passing tests, memorizing facts, or getting the right grade. School doesn't need to take place in a public facility and doesn't need to just involve textbooks. Instead of teaching to the test, you are free to teach many other things, including how to learn. Teaching is also done through daily actions. For example, when you're doing laundry, cooking, practicing good hygiene, running errands, all of these activities are teaching moments. In other words, learning is just a part of daily life. The best thing you can teach your kids is how to learn and enjoy it. It might take some time to rethink what your schooling means for your family. Looking internally about your own educational background will help you sort through what worked or didn't work well for you and what you might want to implement in your own homeschool. This is also a good time to do a little research on your own about home educating by using resources such as your local library, different blogs or websites, or talking to other homeschoolers. Setting realistic expectations and taking it year by year will set you on the right path. When choosing curricula, think about the main subjects first, meaning math and language arts for each child. Then decide how you want to add in science, history, art, or any other topics. Many times in the elementary years, you can group your children together for these latter subjects. This saves time and makes learning fun by doing it together. There's no such thing as a perfect curriculum, but spending time thinking about how your children learn and what your educational objectives are will save you a lot of time and money. And remember to provide activities to naturally stimulate your child's curiosity. The first year you will learn a lot about you and your children. Give yourself that freedom to learn. Use this year to evaluate how your children learn and what motivates their learning. And take time to nurture your relationship with your children. When you exhibit kindness, patience, and strong character, your children will remember that for years to come. And finally, reach out to us. We are all retired homeschool moms or teachers, and we are happy to walk you through this journey. Know that you are not alone, and there are so many support groups and activities available for homeschool families. Don't be afraid to reach out for support and encouragement. I knew nothing about homeschooling, but my husband and I had a conviction we were going to try it, and I continued to research and talk to others as much as I could. I learned so much every year about myself and my children. We realized life is precious and relationships grow by spending time together. Our children are a gift, and we were investing our time into something very, very valuable. So just a recap of what I've talked about today. You can do this and be successful. There are many benefits to homeschooling. Think about your goals and your vision for homeschooling. Learn more about home educating and what it might look like for your family. And finally, create a plan. Well, this wraps up my quick tutorial on homeschooling. I'm sure you have many more questions. Feel free to reach out to us anytime by phone, email, or chat.